We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet and work, and pay our respects to elders past and present. Hello everyone. Welcome to Things You Should Know When You First Moved to Melbourne as an International Student. Thank you for joining us today. We're very happy to have you here. And today we will hear about 5 international students who will share their experiences living in Melbourne, and they will give you practical tips and just share all those good ideas about studying and living in this wonderful city. So before we begin, I would like to invite all of them to introduce themselves. So if you feel like telling us a little bit about yourself, and we could start with Jean.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Jin. I'm originally from South Korea and I'm currently studying a diploma of hair science at La Trobe College, Australia, as a part of my hair science and nursing journey. I've lived here in Australia since 2010. You heard me correct, 2010. It's been quite a long time, but I never lived in Australia consistently. I've always traveled, I always lived here and there. So in total, I traveled more than 30 countries across 2.5 years. So I think I'm pretty much get used to being involved in new environment and new culture. So I'm not here as an expert, just but I'm very happy to share my honest experience through my real life and including some, but actually a lot of the mistake I made so far. So I just want to share how I started again in Melbourne. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. That's impressive. That's very impressive. A lot
Mhm.
of countries there. And then, Cesar, would you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Steph. Hello, everyone. My name is Cesar. I'm from Colombia. I'm currently pursuing the Master of Public Policy and Management at the University of Melbourne, thanks to a scholarship provided by the Colombian government. And I'm passionate about everything that is related to support the international students community in Melbourne or worldwide. Also, I like a lot about diplomacy, so I am also really passionate about all things that are related to improve international relations, related to international education. Um, I am a very curious person, so I like to get involved in different projects, different kind of things that could like that are related to me to my career, but also to my personal growth. Also, I joined the Latin American Student Association in my university. Um, as you can see, I love challenges. I love mochaccino, Latino music, and there is a quote that I love. That is that I firmly believe that we have to live every day as if it were our last. So that's because we will not be international students our whole life. So that's the reason that we should take advantage of all the experiences that we have in this period of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Cesar. Felipe, do you want to continue?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Felipe. Just wanted to say thanks first to Steph for inviting us for this webinar and for Cesar to connecting us to Horizon. It's an amazing opportunity to be speaking here. So I'm originally from Brazil. I've been living in Melbourne for 3 years. I just finished my MBA. Um, I also work in international education sector. So I work as a careers and employability and alumni engagement coordinator. So I spend most of my day helping international students to find jobs and to connecting them to the support networks and organizations that we are so lucky to have here in Victoria. I'm also a student ambassador for City of Melbourne for 2026, and I was a student ambassador for Study Melbourne last year. So yeah, I really try to live the international student life and be around this community. when I arrived here, a lot of people helped me, so I try to be this helping person to others, and this is what I'm really passionate about helping people and about education. And yeah, happy to be here, and hopefully we can contribute to students' lives.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Felipe. Lydia, would you want to continue?
Hi, I'm Lydia. I study my Bachelor of Business in RMIT, but right now I study my Master of Management, major in marketing in Melbourne. I have been in Melbourne for many years, but like when I first came here, I've like I totally don't have like English environment, so I know like I already know some like tips can tell you like how to practice our English. We can do the volunteering, many volunteer opportunities in the university, in the local community. So I also like here today, I'm all like international student. We are all the student ambassador in city of Melbourne, Kansas. So it's a pretty good opportunity as well. So also the so many like social in ones. You can go to the couch, so you can meet other international students. So many things. So if I got opportunity, I can just tell you like more things I just experienced in Melbourne. Felt so good. So don't be afraid. Just come and like when you come, you enjoy it here, and like you gotta know more things about your career, about your future. So yeah, take it easy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lydia. Yeah, that sounds really interesting, and I think we can go a little bit deeper in all those resources and all that that can help people build their confidence and connect as well and get the best of their Melbourne experience. And then, Ash, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Of course. Hey everyone, I'm Ashish. I do electrical and computer systems engineering at Monash, and I was born in India, but I moved to Singapore, so I lived all my life in Singapore until about 2 years ago when I came to Melbourne. And ever since then, I've been just here, getting in the community. I've been volunteering a lot. Like Lydia earlier mentioned, a couch. I'm also a couch volunteer, and I also volunteered other places. And I love traveling all around Melbourne, doing insane stuff. So if you want to have fun in Melbourne, also I can help you with that. And yeah, outside of like university and everything, I'm usually, like I said, doing stuff with my friends, or I'm bouldering. And yeah, that's from me.
Thank you so much. So let's start with some questions about your experience, how you started living and studying in Melbourne. For that, I would like to ask you what surprised you most during your first week or your first few weeks in Melbourne.
I'll say the weather for me. It really surprised me in the beginning, especially how much it changes during the day. Because I come from Brazil, it's always hot all day, and then here, my first couple of weeks here, it was raining in the morning, then it was sunny, then it was hot, then it was cold again. So yeah, it was really surprising for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
for me as well.
Yeah, I want to share one interesting thing. I'm from China. So China, like the all the subway, all the underground trains, so they when they get the star, they will like all the stars will just like the open, like very autonomously, that all naturally. But you don't need to push any button. But when I come here, so in Melbourne, I'm so surprised. I feel like I'm an idiot. Like I'm so stupid. I just stand at the door because there's already rev the store the station, but like the door is just still closed. I'm very like, what happened here now? And like, everyone just look at me. I just like, oh, can I just get off? So I'm so surprised, like we have to push the button to open the door here.
Wow, yeah, that's quite different. I can imagine just like losing the stop in there, missing your actual stop there.
Yeah, I would like to add. I think the thing that most surprised me was definitely the free tram zone, because back in Singapore, everywhere is same. No matter where you go, you have to pay and stuff. While obviously after coming here, I realized it's like a free tram zone. Outside of the free tram zone, there's you have to pay the cost, and yeah, the cost of transport was a bit confusing also, because for 2 hours you pay $5, and for 24 hours you pay $10. It became really confusing when you first came here. Took a long time to get properly get over it.
Yeah, definitely. It is very particular because also you pay different if it's different like spaces, like zone one and zone two. It's different pricing.
Mm.
So yeah, it takes a little bit to reading about it and trying to figure it out. Yes, perfect. So let's see. What do you wish someone had told you before you arrived to Melbourne?
I have the same opinion to Felipe. I was very shocked with the weather. So I really wish someone had told me I should have packed a lot of pooper jacket, an electric blanket, maybe hot patch, something I can keep warm myself during the winter, especially protect myself from the wind. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's an important one. Yeah. Any other things that you guys have wish somebody had told you before you arrived? No, more. Okay. What has been the most positive or the most enjoyable part of living and studying in Melbourne so far?
I would like to say that it's the fact of making friends. Like people are here are very approachable. As students, we have a lot of benefits by being students. Uh, Melbourne is a city that never sleeps, so there is a lot of events during the year for all kind of people. Um, and about the studies, something that I love from here is that in my case, in my university, professors love to interact with the students beyond the classroom. So it's very easy to grab a coffee with them and chat about your expectations, your expectations as a student, and your career goals. So it is also a good way to get opportunities in a long term.
I would like to add something to what Cesar said. It was very positive for me how easy it is here to make friends from different cultures and different countries. I come from a very small city, so we don't have any people visit. Everyone is from the same culture, same nationality. So you come here and then you're able to meet so many people, different languages, different food, different cultures. So I think that broadens your horizons and your perspectives so much. And this is a really, really positive aspect of living in Melbourne.
Yeah. At one point, it's pretty important part for me. It's like the food. I'm a foodie, so like here, I think Melbourne I most enjoy here is like the food so diverse. You can try if you love like different like because I pretty love Asian food, South Korean restaurant, Japanese restaurant, like Thailand restaurant, Filipino, like the all like different like the food like different like the options you can choose. This is most I love most in Melbourne. You can't try the same things in other cities.
That's so true. That was one of the things that surprised me the most when I first came to Melbourne. Because you can find food from everywhere in the world. Like there is cuisines everywhere. So that's really, yeah, that's amazing about the city. Okay, so let's see a little bit what you would want to tell other students in the area of starting life in Melbourne. So, what do you think students may need to know? What can make it harder? Could you like to share a little bit of this,
I,
Cesar?
yeah, I would like to share something that an essential stage of beginning your studies abroad is before coming here. because specifically in what relates to studies, something that was really helpful for me was immediately after getting my admission letter, my admission offer to the university, start following the social media of the university, start doing more research about the city, the country, the main agencies, the main organizations that have specific programs for international students. In the case of Melbourne, there is a lot of programs, is Study Melbourne, City of Melbourne, The Couch, or Horizons, for example. There is a lot of organizations that help us to settle in the city. And also something that was really helpful for me was to contact, before coming here, to contact the professors in my master, saying, hello, I am Cesar, I will do my master since this year, I would like to connect with you to know more about the program. And that's something that helped to me to when I came to Melbourne, when I arrived, to meet these people, to introduce myself, and also, as I said before, people, the professors and the staff are very approachable and are very kind to assess you. So my main advice will be keep permanent contact with those professors that you feel more engaged. Um, Also, in the case of the University of Melbourne, there is a specific website that is Find an Expert, University of Melbourne, so you can know about the whole profile of your professors, their studies, their projects, their publications. So that gives you a lot of insights about what to expect in the class and how you can approach the faculty staff. Yeah.
That sounds great. Sounds really useful. And then just thinking a little bit of those first times in Melbourne, and when you mentioned that before coming to Melbourne, you did some series of things. I would like to talk about how to find a safe place to live in here. So, would you like to tell us how you find your first accommodation, or what should new students check before paying for accommodation or signing an agreement in that housing area?
When I first found the place, I used to live in Kew in my ex-partner's place. But when I finally found my own place in the city, I was actually really, really careful. So I still remember I went so many inspections and I checked so many different places, different apartments, all the facilities and the room, everything. And I finally found one really good place. But like I said at the beginning, I made a huge mistakes. I mean, I tried to be really careful, but I think I just missed. Maybe I was too chill. I was a little bit careless about the contract. So in Korean community, like it's very common way to rent a place, not through the agency, just directly to the landlord or someone who rent a place. So basically, it's all about subletting. So when you sublet a place, I think that's one of the common way all the international students find a house at the beginning. That is a little bit tricky part, a little bit gray zone. You can't be protected under the law, I guess, because mostly you just skip the contract part. So I didn't make the contract at the time. So actually, when I found the place, I was already planning to go back to Korea, just for holiday for 3 weeks. So I just finally found the place and I was super happy. And I was in Korea and I got one call, international call. I heard that I have to move out 1 month later, even before I moved in. So I was like, what happened? And she just told me not the rent, the the person who rent the place, the owner of the place wanted to sell the apartment. So I just realized I just didn't make the contract because we just verbally made a consent. and I was supposed to move in once I come back to Australia. So for me, it was big challenge. As soon as I came back to Australia, came back to Melbourne, I just started to go to inspection again to find another place. So I think the first thing when you find the place, even though you are not doing finding the place through the agency, even though you are doing the subletting, I think you really should make some documents, even though it's not the legal professional document, or you have to always send through the email, maybe some leave some evidence, something like that. I think we really should be careful with this kind of stuff.
Well, that must have been stressful.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. So, what what things? Yeah, what things do you think people should know before they pay?
I think it's just really understanding the contract that you're signing, and if you're leasing directly from an agency or directly from the owner, or if you're subletting, because that's something that happens a lot. Someone else has the contract, the lease contract, but you're moving in and renting a room, or there are companies that do that as well. So just really understanding the different models of living of different accommodations and how you're going to pay. I think that's very important before you sign the contract and before you move in, so you know how to protect your rights, and also know that if you have any issues, you can escalate those issues to different organizations.
That's really important. That's really important to know. Anything else you would like to add? So let's talk about getting
I think
around.
also,
Yeah.
sorry, don't forget to take a video. I think the photo is not enough. Always.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
protect yourself.
when you go to an inspection, you recommend people to do videos of the room, of the facilities, of the place. Beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I think that's really important. And just to summarize, it's really good to know like that the place is safe, that the budget is affordable and suitable for the needs of the person, right?
Another thing,
Mhm.
yeah. Also, make sure to always take a photo of like any type of marks, because you could be asked to pay for it in the future. So, for example, if there's a like a black mark on the wall, take the photo and send it instantly. So, like, if you want, the moment you move in, spend like a good couple hours just finding every nook and corner and finding any marks, anything that could possibly be put on all your own bill, because sometimes it could happen.
Yeah, that's very smart, especially because in here you pay a bond, right? At the beginning, you have to pay a bond for the place that you're living as a security for damages and so on. So yeah, that's very good as a way to protect yourself from losing that money.
Also, I would like to add something, yeah, to conclude that there are different accommodations. So one very popular are the student accommodations. Some are provided by your university, or other ones are private accommodations. So a strategy that I would recommend, if you can do it, is like at the beginning to settle in a student accommodation, because it's trustable, it's safe, and also you have the opportunity to meet a lot of people, to make some friends at the beginning of your year, of your semester. And in the meanwhile, during your accommodation in this student place, you start figuring out how is the city. You start to identify the best places, some places that are the more expensive in the city, the cheapest ones. So in that time, you can identify some places that are better for your economic conditions. Um, in the with the aim of, like, you finish your contract in the student accommodation and you already know how is the city, and also to to have a better budget management. Like you meet people in the student accommodation, and then you can talk to them. Hey, you want to move? Yeah, we can move together. So it helps you to make it easier, and to have already you already know people that can be a good flat in the future. So that's a good strategy that if you can do it, it's very helpful. Yeah.
That sounds really useful. That's great advice in there. Thank you, Cesar. So I think we can go and talk a little bit about how to get around in Melbourne. I want to ask you what was confusing about Mikey or public transport at the beginning. I know that for Lydia, having the doors with the button and not automatically open. And if you have like any practical advice that you would want to give to international students as well.
Yeah, yeah, I just like so confused about like the transportation here. So right now, you can use your Mastercard, your credit card, bank card to tap on, but like normally we use Mackie card, so you have to buy like when I come here it's like $6. So you have to buy the Mackie card, get the physical card, and to use that they have like the machine. You just touch on and you can just like top up your Mackie card there. It's a pretty easy and pretty easy to understand. I think you can set your language to the top up machine, so it's cool of like you if you're not comfortable with like language English, so that should be fine. Also, you can download the PTV app. It's like the public transportation app here, so you can got all the information about like when the trams come, when the trains come. Because if just use a Google Map, sometimes it's not accurate. You have to follow the all the instructions on the PTV. So sometimes they just like block this kind of road, so you can't use a tram or train. You're gonna do the bus replace train or tram, so it's a bit like harder to understand, like the logic of the transportation here. Also, you can get the map of like which is zone 1, which is zone 2. Zone 1 is including the some areas close to the CBD, so it's gonna be more pricey than the zone 2. So it's a basic knowledge about the map. And also, if you download the PTV app, I just strongly recommend you download that, so you can go to all the missions about like the the instant information. Also, you can just top on there. If you lost your car, actually you can just to call the PTV and use the contact information there. They can help you to resend the new car. It's all free. So I think there's lots of information on the app. So that's what I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. Yeah, that's very good to know. Especially knowing that if you lose your Mikey, but you have it registered, you can get a replacement car by free. So that's really good. And then now that I realize nowadays you can use your credit card as well, and that also opens the option of using your phone to just pay for transport now. But it's so new, like it wasn't like that a couple of months ago. So the Mikey was really important in there. So is there anything else that you want to share? Maybe Jean, do you want to share anything about transportation, or Felipe, I think you wanted to talk as well.
I was just gonna say learn as quickly as you can which is the right side to get the tram, because I don't know how many times I got in the wrong tram, because when I arrived I just saw the number of the tram. I saw like 8696. I got into that number and then just started riding the tram, and then it was going to the other side. So learning like which way it's going and which way you're supposed to go, it's important.
And also for me, if you are from the country whose driver's seat is the opposite side to Australia, I think for the first few weeks, you really should be extra careful when you cross the road. even now, sometimes I still watching the wrong direction and I almost hit by car. So yeah, if you are confusing with that, just always try to stop before the cross and just really try to focus where you're walking and which direction you should look at it. So if you don't want to get sick or be injured in foreign country, it could be really big drama if it happens. So I'd like to say be extra careful. And like Felipe said, I was lost all the time my first few weeks. Tram was very confusing, and train, I couldn't even touch on train. And bus, I don't even want to get started. So yeah, try to get used to how you get to the place. Just try to charge your phone always 100%. Google Map will tell you everything. And always bring the power bank and always ask the Google Map and just try to maybe give it a try to go to your school if you have some orientation day or the first day of your university. I just recommend you'd better just maybe go a few days in advance if you don't wanna be late or miss something. I'd like to say.
Yeah, practicing your route to get there. I think that's very important, especially when it's a new city. And as Felipe was saying, you could take the wrong direction, right? So you could end up being farther than you were at the beginnings. That's really practical. And I think I had to do that a couple of times because I used to take the wrong train specifically many times at the beginning. So yeah, we all been there. And then let's talk a little bit about health and well-being. And I would like to know if you understood how the international students insurance and how the Australian healthcare system worked when you first arrived, and if you can identify some things that the students should know about this.
Yeah, I can start. So actually the insure OSHC is like everyone should buy the before you come to Australia. So it's very important. Like no matter your company, which company is yours, but like you have to make sure you got the maybe they have some company, mine is Medibank, so they have the app. So you should get the information about your membership number and your like the personal information, all information about this insurance. It's gonna very important when you got some illness, you need to claim your uh, all the fees, all the bills. So you have to get the card. So Medibank is but easier. You can just like use the app and like you can just like register your information and that they can send your physical card to your address. So that's important. So from my personal experience, when I have to, claim the receipt from the um, GP appointment. So I just show the physical card from Medibank. So it's easier for them to just directly claim. So I don't need to, double work from myself. So just like they can claim all the receipt. I don't need to pay anything. I just bring my physical card. It's very convenient, but you have to confirm like you already register your company app, you have your number, and like already know like what's like the things in your packages. Some companies maybe they don't cover the kind of thing, so you have to make sure your package would look like. This is very important. Yep.
That's very important. Additionally, what do you think help with managing homesickness or loneliness or culture shock when you get to Melbourne, when you get to a different country?
Something that was helpful for me, and I consider is the most important thing, is having your close friends that you consider your support network. That those people that can help you if you need it, because there will be times that you will have this cultural shock, but you will figure it out, you will be learning that, for example, the Aussie feedback could be very direct compared to your hometown culture. So in those situations, it's always helpful to have your close friends and ask their opinion. Um, and also that's it's like being conscious that there will be shocks in different situations. If you are a warm person, that could be more, you can feel it more. um, However, the simple fact of expressing your situation to your loved ones in the city helps you to be conscious that it's something that could happen, that there is you are not the problem, you know. And that's the is part of the process of learning and getting adapted in a new country. Like, there are some studies that say that in average it takes you 6 months to get adapted in a new place. So it's normal that you have that kind of experience. um, and also, it's important to figure it out that we are international students, so we don't just study, we also have our responsibilities, we also work. So for that reason, it's important to always like have a balance between study, free time, and work, you know. So my main advice will be that build your support network, and no doubt to talk to them and express what you feel. And for that reason, I consider is essential to meet a lot of people, to make your friends at the beginning of your studies, because those are the friends that will normally that will stay with you during your studies. Yeah.
Now that you mentioned that, Cesar, how did you build that? How did you make those new friends when you're new in the city, when you're starting this whole new process?
As I said before, meeting new people here is very easy. So here the people are very approachable, and there is specifically in Melbourne, there is a lot of opportunities to meet new people and make friends. So the main way that I started was participating in clubs, in extracurricular activities provided by the university, uh, approaching classmates, be curious about their life and interests. And all of us here in the panel, we are international student ambassadors. So the ambassador program is an excellent program to get involved in projects where you meet a lot of people, where with people that you feel engaged. Um, and also it was very helpful for me to, as I said before, to follow the uni and study Melbourne, city of Melbourne, social media, to know the programs and events coming up, to meet new people. um, so that will be like my main tip, like is being curious. Like, don't be afraid to be the first person to approach someone, explore the clubs in your university, join those in which you are interested, attend the orientation weeks, that's very important, and apply to the ambassador programs.
Yeah, on the top of that, yeah, the orientation, I strongly recommend you to go to orientation week. So at that week, there's so many activities and events, like the design for you, for the new students come here and make friends. So that's perfect, like your first station can meet your friends. For me personally, I got me and one of my best friend, we just meet each other at the orientation day. We even don't study the one course. So it's a pretty good pretty cool idea to go to orientation week. And it's a pretty good opportunity, so you can get a freebies from the the university. They have many clubs, so I recommend you go to the clubs and like the communities to pursue your like your hobby. And it's very good way. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Cesar. Thank you, Lydia. And then just thinking about working life while you're studying, what was your experience of looking for your first job? And do you have any advice you would like to give to other international students?
I think I'll go here. I think the first experience is very hard because you don't really know how to apply for jobs. You don't even know how the CV looks like here in Australia, and also very hard dealing with a lot of rejection. I'll say for Latin American students, usually Latin American students move to Australia a bit older. They already had a career uh, back in their home countries. They have established careers, and then you move here, and then you have to start over, and sometimes working in jobs that you were not used to. So that's very hard for, like mentally, very hard as well. So I think this experience can be very challenging, and we underestimate the power of having a good network, because that is the most important skill that you can have here in Australia, is just developing your network as quickly as possible, just meeting people, as Cesar said, because most of the time you're going to find a job through a connection and not just applying online or handing out CVs. So yeah, that's what I would add for the work part. It's very challenging in the beginning, and then sometimes we focus our efforts on areas that are not going to give us the best return.
What
Yeah,
do you
I
think
can add.
students should know? Oh, do you want to add something? Sorry.
Oh no, I could add like just Felipe's point. Like how I got my first job was like he said, through connections, and it wasn't like a major connection through like people I knew. It was just my friend was working at Subway, and I was like, oh, does anyone else, are they open? And she said, okay, I'll ask my manager, and just asked my manager. I went in for like an interview and got the job immediately. Like it was so fast, and so it doesn't even have to be like a big network. Just ask your friends who are already working, hey, do you know where if they have opening? And if they say no, it's okay, but it could come back positive, and it came back positive for me. So,
That's how it happened for my partner as well. Her first job, uh, it was a guy that I used to play soccer with. I mentioned that I had just moved to Melbourne and that my wife was looking for a job. He had something open in his workplace, and then we got an interview for her, and then she landed the job. So, but he wasn't really a friend at the time, so it was just like really random. That's the funny thing. That's something I was reading this week. The research shows that usually it's not your strongest connections that will land you a job. It's just maybe the weakest connections, the connections that are far from you. They're gonna help you, because they're gonna connect you to areas that you are not, you don't have that much access. So yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, that's really important. And yeah, you never know who knows what you need, right? So that's really good to keep in mind. And then just thinking about workplace rights, what do you think new students should know in terms of workplace rights, pay slips, maybe pay rates, or how to keep
yeah,
records of the working hours?
I can actually do this one because I actually have a list right here. Well, you can't see it, but I have a list of like 7 things you need to know before you start work.
Ah,
And so,
oh,
yeah, the 7 things is: first, you must be provided a contract at the start of work. Even if you don't sign on the spot, you have to be able to, you have to see and read through the contract in detail, just like the combination one. Then you must be paid for all hours worked. So this includes setup, backup, and any training or induction shifts, because unpaid trial periods are actually illegal here. So don't be like fooled into that. I actually was, but yeah. And your boss or manager must always provide adequate training on how to do your job safely. And your boss must give you pay slips as a record for your pay. So try not to get any like so some people might say flat rate or cash jobs. Try not to get that, because even if they might be tempting, because sometimes they could be easy to get, but always go for a job with a pay slip, because that also adds to your super, which I'll say in a moment. Yeah. And yeah, the legal hourly wage varies obviously by industry, your age, and there are a lot of factors. And just check online, like with all using all your own like personal details, like age and which industry you're going for, and seeing if it's fair work. And if if you think you've been unfairly fired, contact a union or any community legal center. And if you don't know where, try going to your like every university has a student union. These student unions can actually help connect you to like work unions. So try doing that also. And also, it's illegal for your boss to fire you or punish you at work for speaking up about a health or safety issue. And if you do get fired for this, same thing as before, contact a union. If you don't know where it is, go to a student union at a university. Every university has one. So yeah, these are
Yeah,
like 7 points which I just have prepared.
and don't be afraid to speak up. That's very important, Ash. A lot of time, international students will see themselves as less because they are international students, and they'll be afraid to speak up. They will think maybe they're working a cash job and then they're being exploited because they're more vulnerable to exploitation, and they will be afraid to speak up because they believe there'll be repercussions against their visas. They can get deported. So there's a lot of stigma around international students. So we usually are more afraid to speak up if we are exploited. But there are many resources that you can go to. I wanted to highlight here the Migrant Worker Center is a great resource for international students to go to. They will give you free legal advice for any work related issue that you have. So yeah, that's a good resource to go to.
Yeah, I would actually like to add that in the Study Melbourne Hub, you can also get free legal advice specifically related to matters with housing and with working rights. So if you are experiencing something that seems unfair or that seems illegal, you can just get there, get in touch with the people in the hub, and they'll help you out for free. So it's really good to keep that in mind. I'm adding in the screen some of the places that we've been and the resources that we've been mentioning. So just in case you wanna take notes in there, they'll be in the comments. Thank you, Felipe, for that. And then let's talk a little bit about study support and academic life. So in this area, what was the biggest difference between studying in Australia and studying in your home country?
I would like to say that compared to Colombia, here in Australia, you are very independent in how to manage your studies. I mean, the topics you want to focus on, the resources to get the information that you need for your assignments, for example. Also, here the culture is more horizontal. So, for that reason, professors are very approachable and are very kind to assess you. Um, so my main advice is to keep permanent contact with them, and also, as I said before, you can use the website of the university. I think that the whole universities have it, that are these specific micro website about the whole catalog of the professors of the university. It helps you to this is different from Colombia because normally it's more decentralized, like how to get the whole information of the professors, but it is a great tool to contact specific professors that are experts in the fields where you want to focus on before coming Melbourne, and have the chance to meet them personally. But the main thing that I identify is that here you are more independent, and the system like pushed you to develop your own thinking, and that's something that is very appreciated here. That your own ideas are very appreciated in the classroom. Specifically, keeping into account that Melbourne is a very international city. It is an international environment. So yes, that's what I think.
Yeah. And to add to Cesar, like Cesar said, it is a very horizontal. You can approach your professors, and same for me. I mean, it's a more of a high school versus university change. But in high school, obviously, everyone like always pushes you to like chase you around. If you're not studying well, they make sure you study well. But over here, if you don't study and you don't ask for help, you'll be left behind. So you have to always make sure you're up to task on everything you do. And if you don't, and if you can't cope, it's all right because you do have a lot of resources. For example, like he said, Monash has Moodle, RMIT has Canva. Each of these Canvas, and each of them have their own micro websites, and they always have like tutors which are available. Professors always have like timings in which you can go and approach them and ask them anything you want. So, and if you need extra support, also, I think every university has like tuition in a way, like extra tuition almost. As for, at least for like the course I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good to know. And so, what would you say the students should do if they are struggling academically? So it would be looking for those extra supports, right? And if they need like accessibility support, could it be the same kind of system, like just reaching out to professors and just looking through the websites in their institution, or do you have like any specific advice in that area?
Yeah, can I? Yeah, just like because I'm from Uni Melbourne, the Uni Melbourne have like academic English skills, like it's kind of like one optional course you can just register, and you can go to. I think that every week they have one workshop, like 2 hours, and tell you from like speaking, how to do like class discussion, and how to write your assignment, how to write the essay, how to use the references. So it's lots of like tell you like in English but more academic way. So I think pretty good resources and they're totally free for every students. And also the the library. I think the university library also have the sport. If you're struggling with like your essay or some assignments, so you can also ask them like maybe they have like specific like fixed time like every week they have the times you can ask for the library staff so they can help you to for your assignment a little bit. Yeah, that's my idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. That's really good to know. I'm sure that's gonna be very useful.
Yeah. And also like another thing to add for like you said for I think what was the question for disability and accessibility support. All universities have disability support, but to access it, you need like proper records. For example, for neurodivergent students, if you have ADHD or anything else, you would have to have the proper medication, like a medical certificates, and from that you can get extra time doing like exams and other stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very good to know. Thank you, Ash. Then thinking about disability and accessibility, uh, if you would like to tell a little bit more about like possible support or just assumptions that could happen in Melbourne City in this area.
I don't want to speak like I'm an expert on disability or accessibility, but I can share something I've learned through a close friend who used to use the wheelchair. Whenever we travel around the Melbourne together, we always had to check accessibility before going somewhere. Like, for example, where the tram was accessible, where the steps and the entrance is easier to get to. So I wanted to share one thing. If you use the Google Map, when you search the how to get to the place, always there's a section you can check accessibility. So you actually can know if this tram is the old tram or the new tram. So if there's a step or if there's no step. So if this is accessible or if it's not accessible, you can check through the Google Map. So I think that was really useful. So sometimes whenever we go somewhere with that friend who used to use the wheelchair, we always check the Google Map and we can even know exact time when the accessible tram comes. So I think that's one of the really useful thing you can use. Also, I think Melbourne is quite um, pretty much familiar and very good environment for disability people. So Melbourne has a lot of events and community that are quite inclusive for disability community. So I went couple of events where disability and accessibility communities were really visible. For example, there's one festival which is always happening at the beginning of the winter. The name is Rising Melbourne. So that festival creates some space, and through that space, me and my friend were able to meet people and connect as an artist. Even she was able to find a job interview opportunity through that kind of event. So I think if you know someone who needs some help for disability and accessibility, I think in Melbourne there are so many communities you can ask for, or just you go some meetup or go some festival, you always can make some connection.
That's really good. That's really good to know, and really good advice with the Google Maps to check up accessibility. Yeah, we believe that Melbourne is very inclusive, and adjustments are very easily to make in a community that keeps basically an open mind for every needs. So that's really good. That's really good. Thank you, Jean. Um, in this area, actually, Horizons as a non for profit is also an NDIS provider. So we provide services and we provide support for people with disabilities. So if you're experiencing like any challenge because accessibility or disability, also feel free to reach out to Horizons. We would be very happy to just support you and provide any information that we can come to or resources, any support that is in our hands. So that area as well in there. And then let's talk a little bit about money, safety, and legal help. I know we have talked a little bit of legal help before in the area of working rights, but maybe if you have any advice in any other area related to legal or in any area related to safety or money, I would like to hear you as well.
I would like to say that it's related to budget. As students in Melbourne, you have a lot of discounts for different things. So my tip is always ask, do you have a discount for internet for being a student? Always ask because this is always helpful. And something that helped me is also using the AI. So I asked the AI, which discounts or free things can I get as an international student in Melbourne? And normally it will tell you like the list of options. However, it's important that you check each of them to know the terms and conditions, because there are some benefits that are just for master or bachelor students or for specific universities. And as Lydia said earlier, we have the freebies in Melbourne. So it's your birthday, so you can get free or discounts for tea or for coffee or cake or bubble tea. That's very popular here in Melbourne. So it's important that you can also search for the freebies in Google and check those that you want, and some of them require that you download the restaurant application and become a member. So you should do it before it's your birthday, and that's a way that you can get free food in those days. And also, you should know that the public libraries in Melbourne, some of them provide free meals, like ready-to-cook meals that you can collect in specific hours and days. So you just need to go there and take it. And also in the universities, there are some student clubs that organize events where generally there is always free food. And also, as I as I lived in a student accommodation, something that was very helpful for me is that normally the students that leave the accommodation, they donate the things that they don't need. So it was really helpful for me to just I didn't need to buy a lot of things because there was a lot of things for my kitchen, for my bedroom that were donated by other students. So it was really helpful as well. Just or to ask, hey, do you need can I get your living, so can I get your the things that you already don't need, so it's pretty helpful.
I'll add about safety is be careful with scams, especially calls. We get a lot of phone calls. I don't know if you guys do. I do get a lot of phone calls saying that it is from Home Affairs that I had a problem with my visa or something like that. And I saw that happen with a student of mine. She said she received the same call, and then she got in contact, and they say they had information about her family back in China, and then she ended up sending a lot of money to the scammers. So yeah, that happens a lot in Australia. And everyone is carry about their visa, so they do these calls to try to get your money. So be aware of scams.
Yeah, in that area, I think also with the ATO, it's very common to
Yeah.
get calls or text messages saying that it's any like government institution because you'll want to know, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to always check that is the actual official communication and that the information that they are asking for you from you makes sense. Just yes, always double check that it's official and it's in there. And then just as it is in the presentation here, I think it's very important to also note that for emergencies in Australia, you should call 000. It's not the same number everywhere in the world. So when you first come to a new country, it might be confusing. And if you're in an emergency situation or you find somebody that needs help in the street or in your university and so on, um, it's good to keep that in mind. It's very easy to remember, but you'll need to know which one is the number to call. So just a reminder, 000 for emergencies. In there, you can be contacted with um, firefighters, or you can be contacted with police or with an ambulance. So that's a reminder there. And actually, in this area, I would like to ask you, um, have you gotten any discounts of a student? Like, do you remember any discount that surprised you that you got because you are a student?
Cesar is the discount expert. He'll have the answers.
So what do you say, Cesar? What has been like the discount
Yes.
that surprised you?
Well, at the beginning, it was the discount for my internet in my phone. Uh, but also recently I had my birthday, so I had free meals in McDonald's and Whopper, and there is here is pretty popular the bubble tea. So I went to Charlie Tea and Molly Tea, and I had like 4 bubble teas in one night. So it was not
That being there.
it was not very healthy, but I enjoy it, and that's the most important thing. Yeah. But
Yeah.
also, like my main advice is always ask, do you have a student discount? And normally, specifically if it's for basic things like mobile clothes, um, also, well, if it's related to tuition fees, I want to ask that as there are specific scholarship programs that don't focus just on your grades, but also in the social impact, the social contribution you do to the community. So that's for that reason it's very helpful, and I highly encourage you to being involved in volunteering projects in foundations, because in a long term it could be very interesting for scholarship opportunities to help you if you demonstrate that you provided if you made a contribution to the community.
Yeah. Can I add something? So, I think for rent, for student apartment, they have the policy if you live longer, you got a better, like greater price. And some apartments, social apartment, they have like first 2 weeks are free or something. So you have to do your own research. So they have current options in the market, but not just like more individually, so you have to do research about stuff. Also for food, I think university have the free food. Monash University, the Monash University of Melbourne, they all have the free food for students. We have like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, they have free breakfast for international students. If you bring your student ID card, so it's pretty good. I also Unimap have the Unimart, so you have 50 credits, so you can use for every week. Grab some groceries, some essentials like the milk, the rice, the fresh vegetables, so fruits is pretty good. I went there like almost every week, so pretty good. Also like the transportation, they have like if you international students, bachelor, if you under 18 right now, it's totally free. If you under 18 years old, so it's a free transportation fees in Melbourne right now. But for bachelor student, I think that you international student have the half price or something. So it's all the information on the website. You have to figure out if you are available to apply for this. Also for the phone, like they have. I think if you are university students, you got a education AU the email address. So you may have the opportunity to get the 10% off the education uh, discount from the Apple. If you buy the MacBook or like the iPad, so you got the 10% discount education. So you have to apply as well using your university some address or something. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And just to add one more is, like I said earlier, I do volunteer at the couch. And the couch, we have free dinners for students every day from Monday to Thursday. So along with the free dinners, we also have activities. So yeah, just it's always like so we have fun activities and also free dinners every day. And along with this, we also have like a community. So you come to the couch, make new friends there, have a fun activity, spend a good evening, and then end the evening with a dinner. So it's like a three in one almost. Yeah, you guys can definitely come to the couch also.
Yeah, the
And
couch
also,
is
like,
really.
also like lady said earlier, all the free stuff. For example, at Monash, I can speak is all the free stuff is run by the student union, MSA, so Monash Student Association. So yeah, we run all these like free meals. So yeah, Monday, Wednesday, I think it's Friday. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing to know, and actually the couch is very welcoming, as well as the Study Melbourne hub. I feel like people in the places are very welcoming for students. At the Study Melbourne hub, you can always go get coffee. There is a coffee machine. It's always free coffee there, and also space to go study, and also activities that you can check out in there. I think currently there are some English classes, and there are some different workshops happening as well. So yeah, check out the couch and check out the Study Melbourne hub. You will always find something to do with them. And let's talk about community and belonging. I know we've been talking a lot about how in Melbourne it gets easier to meet friends when you participate in activities, when you volunteer, when you go to induction week. And from there, you start building connections, and probably you'll meet your best friends in the first days of being in there and studying together. But do you want to share any other
Yeah.
note on that, on building some connections?
As I said briefly earlier, but one is accommodation. So I live in a accommodation called Scape. If you have research accommodations, you would probably know about it because it's the biggest one in Melbourne. but Scape runs a lot of events. I also worked for Scapes as a Scape ambassador. So I help run these events. So these events have it was like it could really range from like craft like making tote bags to ice skating and stuff. And yeah, these events you like some of the closest friends I've ever made in Melbourne till date are from these events, from the escape events. Because essentially you meet the same people over and over again because very similar people coming every time. And also you live at a close proximity or even in the same building and could be even roommates. And again, like I said for a previous question, the couch is very welcoming. I'm a volunteer there also. I love to see you guys, and some of the closest friends I've made are also at the couch.
You're very active, Ash. You participate in many things everywhere.
Oh,
That's so
another thing.
exciting.
When I first came to Melbourne, with a small group of friends I made, what we did was we went to Eventbrite. So it's a website in Australia where they show like events going on around you. So we went to Eventbrite, went to just like free events, and just went to like the closest fun events, which seemed like just a fun thing to do. And that's how I got into my first volunteering like opportunities and stuff through making connections through these events. So because we realized these events have no connection to us, so it's completely new territory. So yeah, expanding our network that way.
That's nice. That's very nice. Now that you mentioned that, I'll I'll take the opportunity to share actually an event that we have on Eventbrite, especially, and that's open for every international student that want to come. So we're having these salsa dancing classes on Saturdays. We're doing it until the 10th of October on 9 Queen Street, Melbourne. So you can find it. It's free. There will be free snacks after class, and you don't need any experience to be able to go. You don't need to go with a partner. You can just come, meet people, have fun, have some food, and just learn some move a little bit, dance. And you'll need just to register. Uh, I'm going to share the link in the comments. So if you're an international student and you would like to go any of these Saturdays, just feel free to register. We'll see you there. And then let's get back in here. I think Ying, were you going to add something? I think I interrupted you in there.
No, it's okay. I just scanned the QR actually because I'm so into salsa, so I think I'm gonna probably be there.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I
I'll,
just
I'll, I'll
wanted
see
to,
you there.
yeah.
Me too, me too. I gotta go.
That's
I just
really
wanted to
great.
add something for Ash because I really want to just say you really need to put yourself in the place where the connection is actually happening. I think that's the a lot of events which is really happening a lot in Melbourne, and I used a lot of Eventbrite events. Also, there is another app called Meetup, MEETUP, Meetup. So it has a lot of different events. You can select some categories you're actually really interested in it. So I think for me, really the events and volunteering and student program, which is organized by your university, and the festivals. A lot of things going on in Melbourne. Also the workshop. The Melbourne, the slogan is Melbourne, the state for education, the education state Melbourne. So I think really Melbourne is the place if you want to learn something. There are so many little, big, many different workshops going on in many different community spaces. So I think you really have to put yourself be there. Maybe at the beginning you can be a little bit shy, but as far as you just give it one try, I'm pretty sure you're gonna meet someone. And like at the beginning, we just mentioned, you never know what kind of networking, what kind of connection can guide you whole different new chapter of your life in Melbourne. So I think really you'd better just try to find so many events, so many opportunity for volunteer. Also, you can connect with different people from different background, different culture. And I think the more you put yourself, be more engaged in something actually happening in Melbourne, I think you can be more belongings, Melbourne as your home city. So I think you really have to just keep trying, just put yourself there, even if you feel awkward at the beginning, just always try to show up and just make some connection. I think that's the one of the most important thing.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Jean. Yes, that makes lots of sense, and I think that's going to be very helpful.
Just to add one more thing, just like very small, is during orientations for university, like all the new university students who are coming here for the first time, during these orientations, you realize not many people talk to each other except a few people, and it's because all of you guys are awkward, and that's okay because you guys are new. But just go up and talk to people, and even if you don't feel like it, that's all right. Because the one thing you should not miss is those night events which happen during these university like orientations. Because during these nighttime events, everyone lets loose a bit and just starts like talking to each other like crazy. And some of these places, I've like so many friend groups have been made. I've met so many friends there because everyone's like more relaxed. So try not to miss. Try to maximize the amount of events you go to, especially in university. Also, it's like there are a lot of fun events outside, but try to go a lot more of the university ones because you can make like close friends who you'll be with forever there.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Ash. We have some greetings for Cesar in the comments around here. And I think with this, we covered a little bit of all the topics that we were thinking of. I want to thank you all for coming tonight, for sharing all these stories, all these experiences, all these ideas that you have come to put together from lots of experiences, many different timelines for each one of you, but very interesting outputs in there. You're all quite active and you've been giving a lot to the communities and giving a lot to the student communities in general. So thank you for all of that. Also for all of this great advice and great wisdom that we're sharing tonight.
Steph, I want to add something just to finish. I just want to tell that if you are already an international student, I consider that you are already one of the bravest people in the world because it's not easy to leave your hometown and get involved in a totally different country if it's with a different language. So I just want to let you know that you if you can how if you learn to manage how to for example how to survive to the public transport in another city, you really can't do anything. So be bold. If you are already here, be bold. Get involved in all the things that you are interested and meet a lot of people. Be curious, and don't be afraid to ask as many questions as you need because all of us that we are here in the panel, we were new in some moment and we were confused at the beginning, so that's normal. So you will have the best experience. Take advantage of all the opportunities because you won't be international student your whole life. That's it.
Thank you, Cesar. Okay, thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope to see many of you tomorrow in the salsa dancing class, or every Saturday morning over there, so we can dance, warm up a little bit, meet people, eat some snacks, and just have a little bit of community time in there as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Steph. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Steph. Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
See you. Oh,